So before we look at scientific notation, we just need to review powers, and powers of 10 in particular. So I'll just find a pen. Now just remember what powers are. If you have 2 to the power of 4, what you're saying is 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which actually is just another way of writing the number 16. So remember, powers mean repeated multiplication. The power part, the little number up here, is called a superscript. So I'll just highlight that. This number here, that's your power. So there's a few names for that. Power, most common. Exponent, E-X-P-O-N-E-N, or index. You'll also hear that used a bit. And the other number, so the 2, we call that the base. Okay, let's quickly go through these powers of 10. So 100, you should know that that's 10 times 10, so that's 10 squared. And if we follow this pattern, 2 down to 0, 10 to the power of 1, well that's just 10. Okay, let's go up now. So what's 10 cubed? 10 times 10 times 10. You'll see a pattern here. You get a 1 followed by 3 zeros. So 10 to the power of 1 is 1 0. 10 squared is 2 zeros. 10 cubed is 3 zeros, which is 1,000. 10 to the power of 4, we get 4 zeros, and we keep going. 10 to the power of 5, we're going to get 100,000. So what's a million? This is a million here, 6 zeros. It's going to be 10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 7, it's going to be 10 million. 10 to the power of 8 is 100 million. And then we go 10 to the power of 9, and we're up to 1 followed by 9 zeros. Do you know what the name of that is? That's called a billion. Okay, that's enough of that. Now notice the pattern here. I just want you to notice the pattern. I'm counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And if you look at the numbers here, each time you count down, you're dividing by 10. So you see 10,000 becomes 1,000, 1,000 becomes 100, 100 divided by 10 is 10. What's 10 divided by 10? Hopefully you'd say, well, that's 1. So 10 to the power of 0, keep in mind, that is 1. Now if we continue this counting down pattern, that's what mathematics is about, looking for patterns and generalizing. So when you count down from 0, you go to -1. And then you count down from there and you'll go to -2. And -3, then you'll get -4, -5, then we're 10 to the -6, -7, 10 to the power of -8, 10 to the power of -9. I won't worry about 10 to the power of -10. Now what's 0.1? Remember, if you say the place value, that's 1/10. So if you divide that by 10, you get another 0. You'll get 0.01, which is what? That's 1 over 100. And again, we could write this as terms of powers of 10. That's 1 on 10 squared. Notice the connection between the negative powers. So all the numbers that have negative powers, they are less than 1. They're less than 1. So each time we divide by 10, get 1 over 1,000, which is just 1 on 10 cubed. So keep in mind negative values. Now here we divide by another 10, we'll get 0.0001 and so on. I'm going to stop there. You can continue to do the rest. So keep in mind when you have a negative power, 10 to the power of negative 1, you're talking about a number that's less than 1. And we'll be using this when we do scientific notation.